Final notice to Lara Croft, current tenant of premises. This is to serve as your final notice for the purposes of terminating your ownership of Croft Manor. You are required to immediately vacate and surrender possession of said manor to Atlas de Mornay, executor of estates.
Lara, it is unfortunate that you have forced my hand in this matter. So be it. As you know, your parents appointed me executor of the estate in the event of their absence. Since your mother disappeared, her death was never technically declared, and given the circumstances surrounding your father's death, it's no surprise that he never drafted a formal last will and testament to account for this circumstance. Unfortunately, you have no legal claims to the estate. I'm willing to negotiate a modest monthly stipend from your trust, but only if you leave the manor by week's end. Don't find me on Lara. Your mother wouldn't want that. Sincerely, Atlas.
There has to be a will or some kind of evidence what happened to Mum in the manor somewhere. That's safe. It's a combination. It's got to be in Dad's papers somewhere. Maybe in the library. Dad's map of the forgotten cities of northern Syria. He was closer than he knew to finding the Prophet's tomb. Dad's book about immortality myths might be useful in my research.
I finally introduced Richard to the family. Went precisely how I imagined. I see, but tight.
It must have been hard for Mum to go against her family wishes. I'm glad she did. One of Dad's Yoruba mosques, gift from a friend he met on an expedition in Nigeria. This is probably my grandfather Benjamin. A picture with Dad and Anna. Never liked wearing dresses, but the colour was nice. Dad would have liked me to go to Oxford, but I insisted on UCL. Yep, looks real. Roth once.
Well, this is a hell of a thing. I met someone tonight.
My parents made a good team, challenging each other from the start. My birthday crown. I was so proud of that thing. That's my handwriting. My penmanship was pretty good. Need a combination of this lock. The door to the library. Locked. There's got to be another way through. This is the map I made for my first expedition with Dad. It shows a path to the library through the servants' passages. Wait, I can get to the library through the old servants' corridor. That's artifacts from the Nile Valley. I always love looking at these. I became interested in immortality myths after his expeditions to Egypt.
Hi, Dad. I've been thinking about Mum.
Well, hello there, Sir Lancelot. Don't worry, I won't be boring your sword this time. Too dark. Going to need a flashlight. A grand hall. Always loved playing in here as a kid. This will be one of the first things to fix. A phoenix figurine. I bet this appealed to Dad's idea of immortality. This belongs to Anna. Most of her belongings are in the guest house. What was she doing in here? Someone has a sense of humor.
Lara, you know the West Wing is off limits.
I'm sorry, I just wanted to see.
Locked. We need a key to open this.
Mum's room here.
What are you doing sitting there on the floor, Mistress Lara?
Another one of Dad's immortality artifacts. I think Roth bought this.
Lara, since your return,
Looking at Pumps, thinking.
What about, if I may inquire?
Hey, Jonah. Sorry. Got to remember to pack this for my next trip. Should be able to explore the dark now.
Just thinking about discovering faraway places, about finding adventure.
I'm sure you will,
The offer came in the post last.
my lady. You've the soul of an explorer, but don't grow up too fast.
Not sure. I really need to brush up on my ancestors one of these.
Amelia, the news has reached...
Falling apart. Maybe I should just let my uncle have this place.
They say
I'm not surprised he asked her to marry him as soon as he got the idea. This is the map I made for my first expedition with Dad. It shows a path to the library through the servants' passages.
Amelia.
Still just as creepy as I remember.
My lord,
Poor Winston. I remember being so angry. He was also patient with me.
King to Queen 1. I'm going to win this time, Winston.
clever girl. But you should know by now, winning isn't everything. Queen to King's Bishop 6.
I would play chess with our old butler Winston on this board. Never could beat him. I always chose white.
Easy for you to say. You always win. Knight takes queen.
What I mean to say is try to enjoy the journey, Lara. Don't rush to victory. Bishop 7.
I know, Winston. Oh no! I didn't even see that.
Dad loved a good bottle of wine.
Dad, this is it. The basement of despair.
indeed, Lara. Muster your courage, for this is the only path to the Library of Inland Knowledge.
Look there! See the string?
An ancient Egyptian tripwire. The keepers of which want none to disturb their treasures. We must tread carefully.
Let me lead. I know how to spot all the traps.
I'm sure you do, my darling. Lead on.
This is the map I made for my first expedition with Dad. It shows a path to the library through the servants' passages. This is the map I made for my first expedition with Dad. It shows a path to the library through the One of the wire traps Winston made for my birthday expedition. Winston used my stuffed bear. Water damage from me all above. This bust of Anubis was from Dad's Egyptian collection. He must have put it... Plans for adding electricity to the manor. Dad used to say his granny hated all the bright lights. There's a missing page.
Amelia left to...
treasure had to be in here somewhere. Hopefully it has a combination to the safe.
I create.
Needs something like this. One of Winston's notes. He always hid sweets for me to find. I remember this now. Each district in ancient Egypt had a symbol.
No, let me see. These two myths are referencing
This was always one of my favorite books in this life.
source material. But where did I see this image?
Dad, I think it's this one, in the chapter on Egyptian districts.
Why, yes, I think you're right.
I remember the page with the illustration of Ra.
Dad was looking for an elixir. Was it the elixir of life?
For God's sake, memorize the combination, you old fool. Lara's
Okay, got to find those objects to figure out the combination to the safe. There's something else here. Dad's lighter. I don't remember him ever using it though. The Croft family Okay, should be able to light fireplace now. This is my handiwork. I used to love drawing. Spent so many hours in here, reading, dreaming of my own adventure. This music is familiar. It's beautiful. It appears Reginald's helmet fell off. Or didn't I put it back properly? Took quite humble off this old thing when I was a girl. Still feel it in the shoulder from time to time. Blank, except for the image of a key. I remember the map now. It leads to the master key. We made it with a special kind of invisible ink. It could only be seen with the heat of a fire. I think I stashed one of Winston's master keys in here when I was a kid. This is the map I made for my first expedition with Dad. It shows a path to the... blank, except for the image.
My goodness, you've been paying attention, haven't you? This could be an important breakthrough.
This picture was taken in the library. 1820 editions.
Does this mean I'm your research assistant?
That and more, my darling.
Takes me back. Those were good times. The best times. I can see the map. Looks like the key is hidden under a trunk near the bookcase. X marks the spot, as they say. The master key. This should get me into the West Wing. Alright, this should open most rooms in the manor, including the Forbidden West Wing. The Pharaoh's crown from my birthday treasure hunt. How old was I again? 6? 8? I think. Okay, Dad's clue and Mum's paintings and their anniversary. Hopefully I can find some answers in the West Wing. Need to search the rest of the map for the clues to the combination.
Mistress...
Just stay out of it, darling.
Dad was always so protective of the West Wing. The Croft family crest.
Lara.
You should also know by now I'm not to be trifled with on this board, young lady. Mate.
Oh, I am going to win. Someday.
After everything...
I think this was Dad's pocket watch. Looks like it stopped precisely at midnight.
has done, how could you tell him about the expedition?
It's just all been too much. I need to talk to someone.
This is bad. I suppose it's
my brother.
my mother's perfume.
I believe it took this trip to push.
Mum on her wedding day. She looks so beautiful. Their anniversary was in October. Which day? I can't believe I don't know this. There's got to be another clue somewhere. I remember this. Dad gave it to Mum on her birthday. October. Pretty sure my parents were married in October. I think it was close to her birthday. Mum's wedding ring. I always wondered what happened to it. Dad may have discovered the secret to immortality without even knowing it.
With a...
Okay, Laura, keep it together. You're starting to see things. Mum's atelier. Dad sealed it after he died. He probably couldn't bear the idea of removing any of her belongings.
My lord.
Untouched for years, exactly as she left it. I don't have any memory of this. I wish I could. Mum with me as a baby. I've never seen this. Hard to believe I was ever that. Mum's paintings. Which one's Dad's favorite?
I returned home this afternoon.
Okay, back to the study to open that safe.
You've almost got it, darling. Here. Let me show you. Like this, see? Well done, Laura. Well done.
I wonder how my life would have been different had she lived. This was for a show in London of Mum's work, but I wouldn't give to see this today.
Lara arrived tonight, though.
I'm glad I still have so much of Mum's work.
do you keep in there?
Nothing too important, Lara. Estate business and such.
If it's not important, then why bother putting it in a safe?
I know better than to try and pull one over on you. There is something important in here, and it's for you, should you need it someday.
Well, let's hope you came through for me, Dad. No, that's not it. No, it didn't work. The answer has to be in the clues.
I returned home this afternoon to collect the last of my paintings. I suppose I should say... I returned home this afternoon to collect the last of my paintings. I suppose I should say...
For God's sake, memorize the combination, you fool. Lara's expedition treasure. My favorite painting by Amelia. The day of our wedding.
I believe it took this trip to push me...
Amelia left tonight. She packed her suitcase and walked right out of here, and I didn't...